96.3, the heart of Geelong, Werribee and the Surf Coast. And just as Geelong Footy League finals get underway this weekend, some clubs are already looking ahead to 2025, and Lara Football Netball Club is one such club, and they have appointed as head football coach for next year a friend of mine in Brett Henderson. Hendo, thank you very much for joining me on the Big Picture in Sport.
Thanks, Wes, and always great to reconnect with you, mate. So I'm looking forward to being a little bit closer to you next year.
I'm looking forward to seeing you in action, as I did when we spent some time together up in the Goulburn Valley. Tell me, what attracted you to the Lara job?
Mate, I think the number one thing is that it's a real community. To be honest, mate, I didn't really know how big Lara was until I drove into it, but the sense of community and the number of people at the footy club, like a couple of weeks I've been there, sort of blew my mind a bit. And I thought, look, I reckon this would be a great spot to coach. And that's how I've landed at Lara, mate.
Isn't it interesting how you as a former school teacher will have made the observation, just like me as a former school teacher, the number of teachers that get involved in coaching. You've had development roles at Williamstown, Port Melbourne, Bendigo Pioneers. Clearly that's a development league. That is central to what your life is all about, a teacher, an instructor, someone who is there to motivate and develop young people.
Yeah, look, I think having a background in teaching certainly helps. You sort of get used to talking to groups of people and one-on-one conversations, etc. So it can't be anything but a help, and hopefully it'll hold me in good stead with this job.
Now, obviously, you've played football at various parts of the state. You've had in recent times, a good look at the Geelong Football Netball League. What are your early observations of the standard of football that you're entering into?
Well, mate, I actually watched, obviously, Lara and St Albans last week. I know two of the bottom three sides, but I was super impressed with the ball movement. I was impressed with the way, St Albans use their hands and sort of get themselves out of trouble. And the conditions were pretty tricky too, Wes. So I was just really impressed by the way that both sides played on the weekend, and I just thought, gee, it's a good standard of footy.
I think too what we find is that a lot of players that are involved in the Geelong Football Netball League, in the footy side of things, they are often on the fringes of the VFL competition. Some of them are obviously aligned, and some of the VFL players are aligned to Geelong Football League clubs. So, clearly there's really strong correlation with what you're about to undertake and what you've also been experiencing over the past few years.
Yeah, look, I think obviously being in that system has helped. It's taught me an enormous amount. And to be totally honest, I thought I had a bit of an idea about footy when I was coaching at Chuka, but my eyes were really opened up by guys like Peter German and Andy Collins, etc. So I've been fortunate enough to work under them and learn some great skills from them, and hopefully that once again will help me on this journey.
And in terms of the people that you've rubbed shoulders with, you've mentioned a couple there. What about some of the AFL coaches going around? Are there any in particular that you like to model your own coaching expertise on?
Look, I reckon everyone wants to be Craig McRae. I'm a Collingwood supporter, Wes, but look, I suppose a little bit of him, I reckon, would go a long way to making the environment really positive. So I'm sort of thinking that's the way I want to go. I want to be myself, obviously, but certainly coaching has changed a lot in the last 25, 30 years. And if I rolled out what I used initially at that time, I think everyone would think I was crazy. So I'm pretty keen to get to the modern day sort of coaching techniques.
I'm speaking with Brett Henderson. He has been appointed coach of Lara Football Netball Club in the Geelong Football Netball League. And Brett, just finally, could I be so bold as to ask you what expectations you might have for next year? Obviously, it's got to be a year-by-year sort of thing, and a club is not going to rise to the top of the Geelong Football Netball League ladder in any quick time. So no doubt there's going to be a bit of work to be done to take the Cats up the ladder.
Yeah, obviously the club itself, just want to see improvement and growth in the club, improvement and growth in every individual player, whether it's under 18s, reserves, or seniors, and just, I suppose, win a couple more games than we have this year. Stoney and Devon have done a great job, consolidating the playing group. So hopefully, mate, I can certainly take it forward.
Good on you, Brett. Wishing you well. I look forward to watching you in action in 2025. There's Brett Henderson there, recently appointed coach of the Lara Football Club as part of the Lara Sporting Club. You're on 96.3, the heart of Geelong, Werribee and the Surf Coast. Stay with me. Ben Cameron from the Geelong Advertiser is coming up next.